Hello, I am Nancy Sutherland. This is another opportunity for us to sit across the table in dialogue, discussing the immeasurable need for a paradigm shift in sales training. Know that I am a proponent of excellence as we engage one another in understanding the magnitude of making the sales call. How you conduct yourself in the sales call affects all of us. You do not live in a box. Understand that I teach, coach, that all our behaviors should be those that are value increasing to oneself and to others. As characteristic then, we know that selling excellence would have at its roots value increasing behaviors. The perceived value from the buyer's perspective of you should fuel your confidence and personal respect and give you the impetus to continue your self-development, to continue to add to your buyer's perceived value of you. Typically, the reason that you are seen is because of the buyer's perceived value of you. You give him or her value. As you sit down to meditate upon these words, know that I coach, teach, fierce intentionality to grow the relationship, to make the selling building partnership between you and buyer of you and the business you represent indicative of relationship selling versus transaction selling. Relationship building is for the good of all constituents in our global society, as this fosters growth in our businesses resulting from collaborative synergy. This sales coaching, resulting in increase in your business content, will truly increase your personal value proposition as you reflectively meditate with pen and paper in hand. We know to effectively build long-term selling relationships, thereby having the positive externality of local, national, and global sustainability, that we must employ selling excellence. This is not a maybe or a might, but a must. Do you understand that a singular sales call of yours has this possible trajectory? Do you understand that each sales call of yours builds upon the next? Do you understand that over time all the sales calls that you make add to the summation of your personal growth to culminate into selling excellence in time? Some of you may be fearful and have trepidation this moment. Please do not fear. In reality, making the sales call one with selling excellence is line upon line, here a little, there a little. This way or methodology of behavioral practice increases our personal value offering, thereby affecting each selling engagement with greater impact and force to further the selling building partnering relationship. Know that the cultural doctrine of mediocrity can be cast aside and replaced with intentionality. As I stated, a need for a paradigm shift in sales coaching. I do understand that in a culture of substandard products, as seen by quality loss resulting from mediocrity, thereby necessitating the purchase of another product by the consumer due to dissatisfaction in the brand chosen, on to another brand selected, possibly with only another tweak in product specifications and design, and obviously a higher price point, affects the salesperson negatively, resulting in the behavioral acceptance of mediocrity. Our culture truly affects the salesperson while making the call. Know that many execute sales calls day in and day out in mediocrity, indicative of the substandard product discussed, resulting in quality loss perceived by their buyer, i.e. failure to deliver value in the selling engagement, left scratching their heads wondering, resulting in the potential buyer going to the next offer of business, i.e. salesperson. This is not excellence, nor does this value-decreasing behavior attribute to continual business sustainability resulting from long-term partnering selling relationships. We must never operate in front of our potential buyer or established client with mannerisms that are not indicative of excellence. This is truly raising the bar. Know that selling excellence is the model of best practice. Our last connection defined the model of best practice as measures, methodologies, actions, behaviors that produce results that cannot be gained by another way than what is gained with superiority. Understanding that selling excellence, particularly, or excellence meaning personal excellence specifically, is a cultural paradigm shift. Know that a paradigm shift is a fundamental way or change in approach. Know that a selling engagement with the task before you to displace an established customer means change must occur. Making this sales call is an intimidating one, in that displacement of an existing provider is daunting. This is near impossible. Change is near impossible. Most firms, individuals, resist change. Many businesses fail at their change initiatives, change improvements, because of the very statement that change is needed. To make this buyer change requires the sales professional to build a trustful, value-offering relationship, able of displacing an established provider. This is worth saying again. To make this buyer change requires the sales professional to build a trustful, value-offering relationship, able of displacing an established provider. Can you imagine displacing Apple in the marketplace? How would you prepare to take down this mammoth? My aim is to guide you in building a trustful relationship, offering significant value to warrant change in my lectures. This is selling excellence. In fact, the very essence of making the sales call is to ask the buyer to change to you, meaning the purchase of your product is the change to you. Further, most perform in mediocrity. Some do perform with excellence, however. Yet excellence must be nurtured, or it will strangely die by the indoctrination of the cultural doctrine of mediocrity. Being excellence is a precarious position, as the culture promotes that excellence is not needed, and this can have a negative effect upon an individual. Little foxes spoil. Sales coaching and personal coaching nurtures excellence. This lecture is intended to nurture excellence. Sales coaching and personal coaching empowers those that typically perform in mediocrity to raise their performance bar. Both are the intent of this lecture. Stop the lecture and do your best to be transparent with yourself and identify which way you have as a trajectory in your life. Know that change is possible with fierce intentionality wherever you lie on the road to excellence. The ability to engage in honesty with yourself will serve as the catalyst to become empowered to change. Truthfulness, honesty are strong meat, and most desire a milk diet. This lecture is strong meat. As I regularly lecture and speak, business is not for the faint-hearted. Business is for the initiated. Selling a product and selling oneself demands the needful change to excellence, realizing as stated that this is done line upon line, precept upon precept. Again, do you now understand that a single sales call has the trajectory of what I'm discussing? Let us reflect upon one needful item in a sales call, your impression. What kind of impression are you making? This is a scenario. You enter a sales call for the first time with a potential buyer. Obviously, you have practiced. You approach your buyer. How do you handshake? A handshake must demonstrate confidence to the buyer and warmth as well. However, have you ever shaken a hand to experience gut-wrenching pain? I have. Obviously, the person shook my hand too firmly. There is a certain firmness that delivers value to the buyer. Practice this engagement art. Practice makes a professional salesperson. What words do you use for the first-time address? Is the first name appropriate? If no, why not? We live in a very informal culture. In a selling engagement, let your buyer over time move to first names if he or she desires. Much respect or value is perceived with this intentionality. Have you prepared with dress? Are you professionally dressed? Have you ensured personal hygiene? A professional look includes nice clothes, not wrinkled, soiled, and the appearance of excessive wear. Yet, that does not mean all professional wear is a $3,000 suit. Professional wear with name brands and quality can even be acquired at well-provided Goodwills at economical prices if need be. Hair should also be kept well and presentable. Personal hygiene is a must, including no offensive body odor or mouth odor. Have you ever had someone that you trust to examine your business and/or personal posture? This could provide needful insight as to how someone else sees you. If not, this is a good practice, as this can uncover behaviors that you are unaware. A salesperson is to dress their best and look their best, as this increases greatly the first impression in a sales call and delivers value in subsequent sales calls as well. Typically, businesses have company dress codes that are mandated as you're the business representative in front of the client. My experience required suits before the clients, with business casual at company sales and launch meetings. Any lax in your appearance is value detracting, adding to a brand liability, versus value increasing, adding to the business's brand assets and your personal brand assets. Selling excellence would have your selling behaviors to increase the brand assets of the business, which mathematically increases the brand equity of the business. The same is to be said for the needful increase in your personal brand assets and the decrease of your personal brand liabilities through continual intentionality in self-development and personal investment. A salesperson can make or break a business. How you look and act while making the sales call is critical. You are that business, as you are a business representative. Know unequivocally that you as a salesperson are paid to be the representative of that business. I discussed the fiduciary relationship and principal-agent relationship in our Ethics in Selling lecture. Our physical appearance and dress should mirror impeccable personal and business ethics, in compliance to the trust that has been placed in one by the salesperson's company. I have personally witnessed salespersons with soiled business shirts due to excessive perspiration. Dresses on women salespersons just covering the buttocks in 6-inch heels, emphasizing their long, slender legs, intending to sell with sexual overtures versus selling excellence in product knowledge and personal selling, communicating feature benefit specifically for a tailored solution, meaning adaptively selling to their intended buyer's needs. Males in suits too small, with the jacket sleeve line above the wrist, showing their shirt excessively. Briefcases with papers protruding out when closed. Offensive mouth odor that was not just one-time happen chance, but a regular event. Shoes scuffed and worn. Men's dress shoes in need of a shine. Women displaying themselves with the show of cleavage, so much so that when they are mentioned in conversation, the show of cleavage is discussed as personal branding. Cars used for appointments that are not kept clean and orderly, that cannot be used for a client to sit down comfortably in a clean environment, etc. None of these examples should be Your potential buyer will talk to others of your value-detracting behaviors. These examples are not personal branding of selling excellence. This is not selling excellence. Instead, brand yourself with selling excellence. Brand yourself with professional dress and impeccable personal hygiene. Brand yourself with product knowledge. These repeated behaviors take fierce intentionality. Know that as we are making the sales call, we have the call to excellence. I am Nancy Sutherland. I am honored to deliver this business content.